Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Radioactive Man, issue number 216. Now, as you know, at a time Bongo Comics released Radioactive Man comics, one of which I got is the Radioactive Man one, which is meant to be based from the 1972 era, with Radioactive Man saying, "Jeepers, my psychic frat boy's a dirty hippie," which is obviously based from the 1970s comic where Roy Harper became a druggie. And yeah, that was actually an actual comic. And on the back, you got the whole Vietnam War thing. So I know at the time there was the Vietnam War during the 70s. So let's get on the story. It starts off how Radioactive Man is battling someone called Nixon and saying, "Please, Mr. President, don't eat me. I voted for you." And so he looks at the comic thinking that, that the president didn't grow anywhere that size until his boss shows up saying, "Oh, you still hanging around here, Kane?" Yes, sir. I'm waiting to take Gloria out to dinner." And so he points out that he needs Gloria to do something, and he looks on saying, "Gloria, hot tip, burglary planted tonight at Demo HQ at Watergate. Gloria's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. She didn't come all this way to wash in to cover a third rate burglary, which probably could have been important." So he walks on, and his hat accidentally blows away, and saying, "Oh my gosh, my worst nightmare has come true. My hat has blown off. The lightning bolt that struck in my head is exposed." And so he goes after it until this lady here, her hat ends up with Radioactive Man, until he sees something going on saying, "Jeepers!" and sees a hippie protest, and like any idiot, he quickly changes into his costume and pretty much removes all the signs and saying, "First, I'll get rid of all these police signs. Huh, look, it's Radioactive Man. Now he's here. We could really crash those pinko protesters. But be cool, man." And so, pretty much, he hears a voice, and it's meant to be Purple Heart, who pretty much now goes by the new name Bleeding Heart. Now, fun fact, this is actually based from a concept in the Captain America comics, where Captain America adopted a new identity where he abandoned his Captain America identity for some time. And so they mainly talk about what's been going on, and he points out that due to the war weapon business had basically dried up, and he's now got what little money there is for a new place. And one of the guys starts to pretty much find it a bit suspicious how these superheroes keep appearing in Miles Mando's apartment. And so he says, "I just barely had enough dough to buy a great hi-fi and all this cool furniture. Oh, what a shame." And so he's been thinking about everything that's been going on and stuff, and even asks like if he wants to listen to some tunes. And Radioactive Man's like, "That's interesting. I mean, Bleeding Heart. Gosh, look at the time. I better be going. See you around." And so he shows his true feelings in his mind, saying, "Ugh, I thought I'd never get out of there. Ugh, I thought that square would never leave." And so Red Man goes back to his apartment to see if Fart Boy's alright, and learns to his horror that Fart Boy's become a hippie. So he starts investigating every area where people are like, "Bug off, man. Drug it, man. Go back to Squareville, Daddy-O." And so he decides to get his ultimate lead by getting Bleeding Heart to help find the location. So after going in, they are dealt with the Black Partage, which I'm guessing is based on Black Canary's early designs. And he's like, yikes, politics, force beams, disappointing me. And so he points out that he can't hit a girl unless if it's a girl robot, like his arch foe, Permotomica. And she says, well, okay, I'll listen. What do you want? And so they start to investigate what's been going on with about the signs and stuff, which turns out there's a big event going on. And he's like, I don't know if we can trust her. I'm afraid she's a commie symphonizer herself. Why, just look at this subtle poster. Relax, RM. She's too cute to be a red. And yeah, at a time I know that people express their feelings with politics, and the same with nowadays. So they decide to give him some like threads and go into the bus and end up at a diner where Black Partridge is left thinking to herself and suddenly gets knocked down by two villains. And after going in to investigate and wondering where Black Partridge is, you've pretty much got a villain who the team recognize saying, welcome, my obedient seekers of entertainment. I am here to show you the true path to spiritual fulfillment. You must free yourself from your protective mind. Surrender your ego attachments. Cast down the burden of your free will. Oh, baby! Whoa, he's spellbinding. I almost see what he's doing. And they kind of realize who the villain is, and also see Fallout Boy in the center until he's attacked by the villains. I mean, the hypnotized people, and they go for them like ravenous dogs. And it turns out the villain is Hypnohead, who was last seen in Radioactive Man issue 197. And after hypnotizing them, and with the villains wearing protective goggles, they pretty much strap him to Bleeding Heart's weapon, and after what could be their death, it turns out Fallout Boy's alright, and they're now wearing protective goggles from his hypno beams. So, pretty much knocking down the villains, and Radioactive Man saying that he's glad that he's alright, and Fallout Boy's like, I was never under his mind control. What? Well, that photo! Radioactive Man, there's someone I want you to meet. And it turns out it's Fallout Boy's twin brother, who's actually meant to be based on Roy Harper's brother from the kind of earlier comics. And after this, he plans to send him to military school without giving him a proper home, family, and friends. And yeah, this is literally how the story ends. So the issue is pretty hilarious. It takes a joke out of 70s comics and tries to show us that Radioactive Man's in the wrong and refuses to accept that times are changing. So the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.